start with Coach.
How was practice? Just you know.
Good. Sunny day. Good spirits. They're good. They're in a good mood.
And then just in terms of obviously bounce back, is this a time you look for your leaders to say anything, or do they just know, they're professionals?
We had a pretty good film session yesterday. They all know the expectations. They set their own, bar as individuals, as a collective. They know where we need to be.
When you go back and watch the film of that game, do you find, obviously you're very disappointed in the result, but did you find more positives going back and looking at it, or was it still pretty?
The goals we gave up, I didn't like. Thought we could have done better. And then, some of the stuff, was okay. Jeremiah, I mean, some of it was better than I thought it would be on the rewatch, but not by much.
Did you feel like the team could have done better at putting the ball in dangerous positions? Or
It's just the discipline that we talked about. Staying disciplined, staying patient, possessing ball at home. The curious thing is, from like the 28th minute, 27th, it took us that long to get our feet right. We started having spell of good possession, good play, a couple of chances, Teva's clear chance, but a couple other good moments, and then they score. And so it was really kind of counterintuitive. That probably answers your question. There were some good parts, but then they scored.
Right.
And that goal, we should have been better marking in the box. The initial ball that came across, directional heading, retaining possession, lots of little details they could have done better on.
Brian, is spacing one of the issues when teams are playing a five back for you all?
Yeah, you have to be more disciplined. Space is not as ready available. It's different. So, yeah.
Do you expect to see more teams going to five in the back from here on out against you?
Just depends on which team, which coach fancies what. I'm not so sure that every coach in the league changes home or away or against us specifically. I don't think so.
speaking about spacing, we've talked about Ever likes to get the ball in between lines. When he drops back, does he sometimes occupy the same spaces as Nico, or has that not been an issue?
No.
Can you give an update as far as injuries like
Nuhu's ready to go.
He's full on.
Yep. Anybody else on your list?
Well,
Kellen, no.
Yeah,
Raul,
yeah.
no. Ethan, no.
Still Paul in the back out here. Paul Rothrock.
Rothrock's back out. He's available.
Good
catch.
How far is
With
Raul away? Or we move on for injuries?
Getting closer. He'll be in full training next week. So that'll be good news, but I want to make sure that he completes X amount of full training. With games fast and furious, sometimes the training week looks different. There's not enough days where there's, a push day, a -4, -3. So we'll have to get him through a couple of those before we put him on the field.
With Kellen being able to run, does that?
He's still a ways out,
Yeah,
Jada. He's still a ways out.
And then with Nuhu being able to be back, is there, especially being able to get a couple of minutes from him, is there any? I don't know if surprise is the right word, but how do he was out for such a long time. For him to be able to be fit, is that?
That's concerning. Well, it's concerning a little bit. Concerning in the sense for me as a coach, not for Nuhu. I'll clarify my answer. Nuhu's great. He feels good. He's really happy to be back. He feels he can contribute. We want him to contribute. The challenge is it's his first game back after well over a month with a serious disease. And let's just see how the game goes. Let's see how things shake out. And we have Cody, and he can play, and there's no issues there.
Brian, in your final third in terms of the execution, is there some discombobulation happening just because of familiarity there? And specifically, it looked like sometimes when guys made the run, the ball wasn't there, or...
No, I think there's no discombobulation. I like that word, but it's not necessarily relevant, I think, your question. Guys have to be on the same page. Like, we missed Jordan Morris a couple times when he runs in behind. The timing's not right. Now, is that Jordan moves too early before the guy takes his preparation touch, or is it the guy doesn't see Jordan when he's running? Those are the things that we have to work on in training, and I think that's part of your question. Uh, the other stuff is just again down to discipline and staying patient, and not rushing things. I think that's where you saw that we gave the ball away a little bit too often.
You mentioned this in the post game, but the press was so effective early in the season. Your press, and it seems like it has not been quite as effective recently. Do you have a diagnosis for that, or what?
I think a little bit of a rotating squad has a little bit to do with that. But at home, should we be on the front foot? Yes. Do we have the players that are necessarily pressing type players? I mean, we're definitely not New York Red Bull. I mean, we can't press like that all the time. So we message it to them. There has to be selective pressure. There's visual cues when to go. They feel the game, the momentum swings, when to go, when to press. And, some of those reading of the cues, we need to do a better job at.
What challenges do Vancouver present under their current style of play in general?
Well, they're a good team. They're a very good team.
Do you have to focus any on what choices they might make up top
No.
or anything like that?
No, they rested 3 key guys, maybe 4. Can't remember anymore, but we know what they're about.
Brian,
One question about Austin was just that seemed like one of the not good games that JP has had. Did you kind of share that?
I thought he was okay. I mean, if I really would have thought he was horrible, I would have yanked him off, but I don't think he was that bad.
Brian, in your press, when you do press and you get the ball, are you happy? Are you getting that pass to break the lines as quickly as you?
No, we're not executing our transition moments either. So to you and Jeremiah's questions are good questions. You got to press effectively, but then what happens when you regain possession of the ball is the second part of that equation. And I don't think we've been good in both of those areas. And normally we're a really good transition team.